I want to give you the strategy that I use in order to not lose my shit when life gives every opportunity to do just that. It could be from the overwhelming emotions we feel watching things happen culturally, politically. It could be closer to home with all the responsibilities of modern life and everything that's involved there. It could be all of the above. We all have the opportunity to feel utterly overwhelmed and to feel a range of emotions that we don't want to feel, right? Here's how I approach that. This book, Initiation by Elisabeth Haich, is one of my favorite books. It's profoundly impacted my life. It is her memoir of a past life in ancient Egypt. I will just say right there, you don't have to believe that the story is real to potentially benefit from the concepts I'm going to share. So I'm not here to convince you that her memoir of her past life is factual. That's not necessarily relevant at this point. But in her memoir, she describes being initiated into the temple. She explains the entire process. So one of the things that she talks about that has really impacted me is how they were taught to follow, they were given these guided visualizations of extremely emotional circumstances and scenes. They had to sort of embody them. They had to visualize them and then somatically sort of place themselves in that scene so they could really deeply, richly experience what was being narrated to them. So over time, they became proficient at that. And that was the case. Then they moved to the next level where they were just told the emotion. They weren't given a scene to sort of inspire the emotion. They just had to feel the emotion on command. They went for a time doing that and they became proficient at that. Then the next level was they were given opposite emotions. So they had to deeply embody like despair and then instantly flip to joy or ecstasy. As they became proficient at that, they had to do it faster and faster. So essentially like playing emotional scales. The result was at some point it broke their identification with their emotions, where the emotions no longer controlled them. What they were being trained to do was to maintain their inner equilibrium in the face of these real emotions. Instead of swinging between like anger and apathy or aggression and then helplessness, or a lot of the states that we find ourselves tempted to move between, or our feelings of like just utter overwhelm and then attempting to dull or numb ourselves in order to be able to manage. This is none of those, because they still were able to be present with the realities of the feelings or circumstances, were no longer controlled by the emotion. They could maintain their inner equilibrium and experience the emotion. Just understanding that conceptually has really helped me, because I don't ever want to diminish my ability to feel. I want to be impacted deeply by injustice and never become comfortable with it. I want to be able to feel deep pleasure and joy and ecstasy. So I want to maintain the breadth of my emotional bandwidth. What I don't want is to be owned by it. So even without doing this practice, just the idea that that is a reality has helped me so much to be able to stay present, to feel things, and at the same time to understand that it is an experience and it is not me. I can keep my identity stable and therefore keep my equilibrium even in the presence of overwhelming experiences. I think that could be unpacked quite a lot more. At least I wanted to sort of share that with you. If that idea is helpful and you want to sort of explore it some more, let me know. I'm down to talk about it more. But I just wanted to share that with you because it has been so profound with me. I think what I'll do is I'll post the excerpt of that passage in the notes for this if you want to read them. So let me know what you think of that practice.